Hello all you fabulous people, welcome to Spain. On for today, we have such an amazing episode. We're making a cheesy garlic pull apart bread. This is one of the best homemade bread recipes ever because it's so easy to make. The flavors are seriously out of this world good, and the best part, it's all done in just about 30 minutes. Now to make this recipe, I am using a mild manchego cheese. This is a semi-cuadrado, so it easily melts, but it still has a beautiful nutty flavor to it. And the second thing, I'm using a great extra virgin olive oil. This is the base fat of this recipe, and what really flavors that dough. Get yourself a bar of the one I'm using from PAELLA. This is an insanely delicious extra virgin olive oil. You guys will find links where you can get these two amazing ingredients in the description box below. I'm going to begin by grabbing a 7-ounce block of a mild manchego cheese and cutting 24 small squares that are about 1/2 inch by 1/2 inch. Again, you'll find the link in the description box below to the one that I'm using, but you can use whatever cheese you want in this recipe. Just make sure it's one that easily melts. And I'm also going to shred 2 cups of the cheese. For the next step, I'm going to add in 3 cups of all-purpose flour into a large bowl. Three teaspoons of baking powder. 1 teaspoon of fine sea salt. And 1 tablespoon of dried oregano. And mix the dry ingredients together until they're well combined. For the next ingredients, I'm going to add in 3 tablespoons of extra virgin olive oil. Again, this is such an important ingredient. This is what gives bread that beautiful texture and flavor. And 1 cup of water. And start mixing all these ingredients together. Once these ingredients start forming a dough, get in there with your hands and continue to mix this together. Once all the ingredients have came together and you end up with a compact dough, make sure you knead it inside of the bowl between 1 to 2 minutes. This is a quick bread recipe, so by kneading it between 1 to 2 minutes, it's going to help develop some of the gluten strands in the flour to give this bread an incredible texture and flavor. Then I'm going to shape the dough into a ball. Sprinkle some all-purpose flour on a clean flat surface. Add the ball of dough on top. And cut it into 3 evenly sized pieces. I'm going to shape each piece of dough into the form of a ball. And cut each one into 8 evenly sized pieces to end up with a total of 24 pieces of dough. Alright, for the next step, we're going to start stuffing our cheese into the dough. I'm going to grab a block of the manchego cheese, add it into a piece of dough, and make sure you wrap that dough all around the cheese and it's well sealed. That way when you bake this bread, the cheese doesn't ooze out. And continue to do this until you end up with 24 pieces of stuffed dough. And again, very important, make sure that dough's completely sealing that cheese. For the next step, I'm going to grab a baking pan. The size of this one is 8 inches in diameter. I'm going to line it with a piece of parchment paper. And start adding the pieces of dough in there. You want to make sure that they're all tightly compacted together. For the final step, I'm going to add in a generous tablespoon of extra virgin olive oil into a bowl. Shred in 4 large cloves of garlic, or you can also mince them. And add in 1/2 tablespoon of dried oregano. I'm going to mix these dry ingredients until they're well combined. Add the mixture on top of the pieces of dough. And brush it around until it's evenly divided. For the final step, let's make our bread. I'm gonna add this into a preheated oven, bake and broil option, 210 degrees Celsius, which is 425 degrees Fahrenheit. If your oven can't do both functions at the same time, no big deal. Just bake it for the exact same amount of time I'm cooking this, and then add it to the broiler between 2 to 3 minutes. After about 15 minutes, I'm gonna remove the bread out of the oven, add in the 2 cups of shredded cheese over the bread, and back into the oven. After a total cooking time of 20 minutes, that's 5 minutes since we added the cheese, this should be perfectly cooked. I'm gonna take our pull-apart bread out of the oven. I'm gonna transfer it into a serving dish and sprinkle it with some freshly chopped parsley. Seriously guys, this turned out so beautiful. Let's try it and see it. Look at that. Doesn't get better than that. Absolutely beautiful. First things first, the texture of that dough is right on the money, fully cooked through, and it just kind of melts in your mouth. And that's for the flavors. You got that garlic, so much garlic, and that makes it so good. The melted cheese and that oregano, that gives it a nice earthiness, guys. What an incredible homemade bread, done in a little over 30 minutes and made with the most basic ingredients. Make this pull-apart bread at home, and I guarantee it will completely blow you away. Really quick before I go, a quick shout out to one of my patrons, David Baum. Again, David, thank you so much for all your support. I truly appreciate you. For the rest of you, if you're not with me on Patreon, consider becoming a patron. It'll help you out with ingredients and equipment to continue making videos like this. You'll find my Patreon link in the description box below and icon above. If you enjoyed today's video, hit that like button, leave me a comment below, and if you're not subscribed, smash that subscribe button. Till the next time, hasta luego.